All right, welcome into our latest edition of our training camp recaps. It is day 4 down here at Paycor Stadium. Pauline Jr. Jay Morrison here with you. And, takeaway, play, thing they say. You've been watching the whole time. You know by now. You don't need us to keep telling you about it, even though we're going to do it. Night practice, the first evening practice we got. First rain, little bit of rain, little drizzle. You could see how weak someone was by whether they took an umbrella out there or not. We judged.
We did not take an umbrella or a raincoat.
We did take stools, and Duke Tobin judged me very much on the stool and thinks that it's really weak that I use one. But I will not quit. I will not quit on that. We do have things, though. We do have things for you to recap what went down at today's practice. Jay, what is your takeaway?
So my takeaway was, first of all, it wasn't an observation so much as something I heard, which was this loud boom, and the ball just sounds different coming off of the new punter, Ryan Rakow. I don't even know if that's how you say his name.
Rakow, does it matter?
Rakow.
Yes, it matters.
Yeah, we'll get it right, but it's something to see. It's amazing that he got cut in Kansas City. Maybe he has issues with directional kick. He booms the ball. It's just different. I think we talked earlier, like I was one of the position battles I was most interested to watch was the punting competition. It just got a whole lot more interesting because he really has a big leg. And now Darren Simmons has 3 guys he's got to try to figure out which one is the best. But if you're coming down to a practice, check it out. So I switched fields and I went over and I was talking to Charlie Goldsmith. I was like, did you see Rakow punting the ball? He's like, I actually just tweeted about it. He's like, I rarely tweet about punting, but it was that noticeable. He has a heck of a leg.
Yeah, you can see why he's here. I have been around here for longer than I care to admit. I can't remember them having 3 punters in a camp. And I think it shows you how wide open it is and what they're just open to whatever. There was a shank by McNamara at one point today, and the disappointed clap afterwards, the old, one of those. So you can't keep having those, man. There's another guy, there's 3 people here, and you wonder how long that's going to last. But yeah, I would agree with you. Pretty noticeable. My takeaway would be, look, we're pads on deck here, okay? About to get real. You're about to find out who's about that life here pretty soon. The interesting thing is, as we go through this part that we just did, though, is how many people just aren't here. And this isn't just about Jamar Chase, who we documented, and again, hat for him, 4 for 4. I think we can know what's going on there at this point. Trey Hendrickson, 3 straight days, not a participant. Still Cam Taylor-Britt, who had the tonsillitis that was discussed here on the first day, has not participated. He's out there and he's talking to people, but he's not participating. If you're a tonsillitis expert and you're out there and you'd like to help, let me know. If you know more about why that would be keeping somebody out of practice for this long, maybe that'll change soon. Zach Taylor talked about easing everybody in the first couple of weeks, a lot more pulling back on the reins to make sure that everybody gets there. Okay, I think for some of these guys, you're wanting to see, is something going on, or are we going to start to actually see them a little more? Sam Hubbard goes off today. So he walked from one side of the field almost all the way down to the other with a trainer afterwards while 11-on-11s were going on, and then got into a cart and went off. Don't know what happened. Didn't see what happened. He was walking just fine when he was walking, but did go off with trainers and go to the locker room. So another thing to watch there. It hasn't been a ton of injuries here, but you do have a lot of guys not participating. So a lot of 2s and 3s out there getting 1 reps. So when is that going to change, or will that be something that's kind of going on here for a while?
Yeah, Von Bell didn't do any teamwork today, so we got to see Jordan Battle with the first team for the first time, and then Jermaine Pratt, same thing, kind of a rest day. They were out there, they did some individual stuff, but so we saw Akeem Davis-Gaither, and for him, we'll see. Zach will sit right in one of these seats tomorrow, and he has that press conference at 1:45. He should have some more information on what is that exactly going on with Sam.
Yeah, and a chance to double up with the off day on Saturday, where you can give somebody a day off Sunday and they can get a bigger rest. You do have pads coming. I think there's some of that is to it. So we'll see who comes back when the pads come on, and that happens. All right, play. Let's keep it moving here. What's your play today?
So it was early. I believe it was Joe Burrow's second throw of the practice in 11 on 11, and he threw one to T Higgins, and Dax had really good coverage. Might have climbed his back a little bit. I don't know if he would have got a. I don't think he would have got a flag, but it was a really nice PBU, and it was a nice play. But what really kind of stood out to me was how fired up Dax was and barking a little bit at T. And you don't, when we talk to Dax in the locker room, even when you watch him on the field, you rarely see that kind of fire. And I think that's a good sign, seeing that coming out. And we saw earlier, I think it was Friday or Thursday, he had a really nice PBU against T, and Jermaine Pratt was hyping him up. Yeah, Dax. Yeah, Dax. Yeah, 5. He started taunting T a little bit. And then T gives it the tamp it down. So T's not engaging as much, but Dax really seems to be trying to pump himself up. This is a huge camp for Dax. And that was noticeable to me, the way he was barking at T after that PBU.
You know who he needs to bark at?
Himself.
Kendrick Pryor or something, because Kendrick Pryor took it to him a couple times today.
Yeah.
One, Dax technically probably got credited for a PBU if you were paying attention, but if you were looking closer, he had his jersey yanked behind him. It would have been a pass interference because he was beat over the middle by Kendrick Pryor. And then in a red zone drill, he got beat along the back line by Kendrick Pryor. Look, if you're Dax Hill, you can't have that. You can't be getting beat multiple times by somebody. That's no disrespect to Kendrick Pryor, but it's going to get tougher out there. I think this is the roller coaster we're on with Dax right now. You're seeing some of these plays. You're seeing some of the plays that you want to see against somebody like T Higgins, but then you're also seeing the other side where it's not looking quite right. We've seen a lot of times where he's felt like he's been in position and not able to make the play.
Yeah.
There's a couple times where he just kind of looks beat a little bit. I think you're riding the roller coaster with Dax Hill right now. It's not all the way there. The good side of it is something we talked about the other day, and is I think DJ Turner has played really well and continued to look good out there. And so there's probably separation, I would think, in the early days of camp between those two. All right, let's go to a thing that they say.
Yeah, so it was right. It was in that red zone 7-on-7, and the ones were done. The twos were in there. The first snap of the twos, Jake Browning's dancing around. He's dancing around. He can't find anybody, so he just tucks the ball and scrambles for what would have been a first down in a real game. But Mike Hilton was standing on the back line, and he was giving it to him. He said, "Come on, throw the effing ball. We're trying to get work in too." And he was giving it to Jake. And then a couple plays later, Jake hit Charlie Jones in the corner of the end zone. It was hard to tell if it was a touchdown or not.
He was out of bounds.
I was fortunately rolling on that play, and I went back and watched my video, and he actually bobbled a little bit, and the second foot was out of bounds. First person over there to show Charlie where his foot hit was Mike Hilton. And then again, it was a close play to Trey Mosley that was right in that same corner, and Mike Hilton over there again showing him the mark in the white where he did not get in. So, we talked to Mike the other day. He's always fun to talk to. He's fun to watch, interact with the guys. But that quote about throw the effing ball, we're trying to get work in too, it was funny, and it's real. I mean, they don't want these guys scrambling out. Throw the ball, let somebody make a play. The play you were talking about with Kendrick Pryor beating Dax Hill, sometimes that happens when a play breaks down in the red zone and it's just kind of a scramble. That's not what that was. No. That was kind of a designed route across the back line when Kendrick beat him. So that's my thing I heard them say was Mike Hilton. 3 things I heard him say.
Mine also involves Jake Browning. It's something he said the other day that was very applicable today. And that was, he said, you just know whenever you get out there that Tanner's going to get open, talking about Tanner Hudson. And there it was today, making plays multiple times. Again, he had a really nice diving catch along the sideline, a couple over the middle. He just consistently shows up. He makes plays. He gets open. He catches the ball when it's thrown to him. You rarely see him make many mistakes. And on a day when Eric All gets cleared, and you now have 5 tight ends, you start to wonder, what the hell is going to happen in this tight end room? Where are they going to go? Does that mean, are you going to be exposing somebody like a 6th-round pick in Tanner McLaughlin? All's going to be here. You're not going to expose a 4th-round pick, somebody with his kind of a talent. Tanner Hudson played so well last year. He continues to show up. Looks like he did last camp when he makes plays. I'm curious what's going to be happening there, but Tanner Hudson is the type of guy that makes it really hard to consider cutting him. He has the trust of the quarterbacks. You can see that, and you can hear that when you talk to them. So that kind of stuck in my head as we watched Tanner have a nice day again today. All right, that was day 4. About to get real. Day 5 tomorrow on Monday. then a practice on Tuesday, then an off day on Wednesday. So and it's fully open to everybody tomorrow. No,
Yeah.
not just season ticket holders on Monday. So make sure if you want to come on down, say hi to us like some of you had. And those of you that keep telling us how great it is to have you and Jay back together, I freaking agree. This has been great doing this for you guys every single day. We'll have another one tomorrow. So make sure you check back in, and we will talk to you then. Have a good one.